What's up guys, and welcome back to yet another episode of Game On Garage. In the previous episode I revealed to you guys that we will be building my 1919 Mazda MX-5 as a race car, especially for the Fine Car series here in Cape Town. And as a first modification towards its track life, I decided let's install our oil catch can that I actually got with the 200 SX. It's one of the parts that we had laying around, so might as well get it on the car and get it performing that little bit better. So for those of you that don't know, an oil catch can should look something like this, with one or two hoses coming in. Sometimes it also has an air filter on the top. So you connect the inlet hose to the head's breather hose, and then the outlet goes to the intake manifold where the breather hose used to go. And then the oil vapors that would have went into your intake and clogged up your throttle body, maybe your turbo, intercooler, will be caught in here. You can have a view of when it's full and then drain that and discard of that safely. This will keep your, especially your throttle body and also the rest of your intake system, that little bit cleaner. Also, while we're here, for those of you following me on Instagram would have seen that we have been practicing our TIG welding and it's getting along fairly well. Still a lot of practice left, but so far so good. With that out of the way, let's get to the car and installing this oil catch can. So on the MX-5's engine, here you can see the breather hose going all the way into the intake, which is before throttle body. And then on this side we have the PCV valve going to past the throttle body, so that's not that serious. This valve also helps eliminate some of the oil problems. So our oil catch can will be installed between this line and where it reconnects back to the intake. For now, first we have to find a place to mount this that will enable the hose to reach both points. Alright, so after quite some fiddling and trying to find a space where we can mount the oil catch can, I decided on this side. As you'll notice, the hose runs all the way around, so it's fine if you tee in between these 2 points as well. So I'll supply the hose, which isn't in the best condition, but it should do the trick. And then let me show you the mounting situation. So it is a bit tight in here, but I've decided to use this top suspension bolt over here and then some scrap metal from my offcuts that I've got, and to make a bracket that bolts onto there and then goes down to use the supplied bracket. For the meanwhile, while the car isn't driving at all, this should be fine. It's standing on the lower chassis support down there, so I think that will work for now. Let's get the hoses installed. Now, like they always say, measure twice and only cut once. Make sure that your throttle body can still open all the way, that you're not in the way of any moving parts, maybe fans or belts, anything like that. I think I'm going to route the inlet, well, the outlet from the oil catch tank over the top, and then the outlet or the inlet into the catch tank down the bottom. So make sure it's on its place, measure without any kinks in the hose, and always cut at the bottom end of your fitting. With the hose cut to length, add your hose clamps, 2 for each hose, and the other one as well. And then just connect them in between. Yeah. To connect them, just grab your pair of pliers and undo these clips. Let's see if we can get this off. Not too oily, so it looked like this motor had a problem with excessive blow-by, but rather safe than sorry. Especially with the track abuse coming up, this is going to be a nice, safety, reliable mod. So all that's left is to tighten the hose clamps, all 4 of them, and then we need to make this bracket in the future. No need to over tighten these, it's not going to be under any high loads or pressure. Last thing to do before we can call this job done is, since this is a fairly cheap oil catch can, there's no baffling or any filters inside. So easy way around that is add some pot scrapers or steel wool, and that will catch all the fuel droplets, all the oil droplets, and instead of just blowing it straight through back into the intake. To insert that, you remove the number 4 Allen bolts on top, and just add some, like I mentioned, pot scrapers or steel wool, put it back in, and then we're all done. And there we go, guys. Our oil catch can is completely installed. This one hose might be a bit long, so we can maybe trim that in the future. Also, in a next episode of Game On Garage, we'll be making our bracket to secure it more. And there we go, our race car build series has finally started by installing our oil catch can in the Mx5. If you like this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up. Maybe just consider subscribing to follow along as we keep on building the Mx5. I've ordered some brake and a suspension parts already, although those will take some time to get here. But as I mentioned previously, in the comments below, let me know what else you think I'll need to get this car ready to go racing. And of course, we're going to need a name for it, so let me know what you think we should call our 1990 Marina Blue Mazda MX-5 race car. In the meantime, guys, remember that it's not game over, it's game on.